You are listening to chartingwealth.com for Wednesday, the 29th of August, 2018. We see stocks are up for the day. Bonds and gold are down. Well, thank you so much for being with us. We so appreciate everyone who's purchased our book. We sent out even more of them today, and we will be going into our fifth printing. You guys have made us so popular. If you are overseas and wish to buy the book, just sent one out today to Holland. Please let us know. Just go ahead and email us. Email us chartingwealth1@gmail.com. You can email that anywhere in the world, chartingwealth1@gmail.com. Email us, tell us where you are and that you'd like to purchase the book, and we will figure out a way to allow you to pay for it, and we will get it to you. So just write us chartingwealth1@gmail.com. And thank you so much, everyone, for supporting the website. It's really the only way we've monetized what we do. We bring this to you every day, have done so for years for free, and we'll continue to do so. Okay, let's jump into this market. We always start off with the S&P 500, and we always start on the weekly chart. What do we see? Well, we have another week, second week after a bit of a pullback for the week ending on the 17th. Not really much. It was sort of a red open box spinning top, which means a little bit of a pullback, but that was just sort of the market relaxing for about a week and then popping back up again so far. Derivative oscillator gaining upward momentum. Price percent oscillator slanting up even higher. Looking great. What's going on the 2-day chart? Well, we finished the latest candle, a nice big up candle. Price percent oscillator spiked up. Derivative oscillator also. Price movement, of course, well above the weekly and the 2-day trend line. And of course, we go to that 4-hour chart. Now, again, not up a whole lot on the S&P today, 0.03%. And as we look, we can see that it was pretty much bouncing off about where it had, somewhere around the 289.81 or so mark, something like 289, almost 290. And what is it doing? Well, we saw the end of the day a little bit of a pullback. Now the price percent oscillator still heading up, derivative oscillator still heading up. Keep your eye on things. Remember, our jumping in point was all the way back on the afternoon of Monday the 20th. And again, that jumping in point, it's difficult with Heikin-Ashi candlesticks, and we're not going to switch over. It is way too complicated to do that. But somewhere around the 284, 285 mark, and of course as high as 290.42 in the morning this morning. So quite nice over just the last few days. So keep your eye on the prize. Continue to pay attention to that 4-hour chart along with the other charts. Remember, it's all the charts all the time, but we're very happy with the way that things have worked so far on that S&P trade. Now let's look at the Qs. The Qs is bouncing off the red signal line. It looks like, as far as the weekly chart goes, derivative oscillator heading up, price percent oscillator heading up. Look at that 2-day chart. We've just had it cross through. Now, if there's a pullback over the next day or two, it'll probably pull right back over it. But for now, there is a 2-day crossover. That, of course, is subject to change because it's a weak crossover. Derivative oscillator is also positive. We go from the 2-day chart to the 4-hour. Now, on the 4-hour chart, we're going to need a pullback before we can find a jumping in point. Remember, we have both our 2-day and our weekly moving in the same direction now. That's up. We need a bit of a pullback on the 4-hour and a crossing over going back up. Then we can jump in. So that's what we're waiting for. Remember, we are trend followers. So we'll continue to keep our eye on the Qs, see what happens. What's going on with TLT? Well, after 2 weeks of up movement, so far this week on the weekly chart with 20-year bonds flat, derivative oscillator flat, and we see a red spinning top so far, which means indecision tending down. That's on the weekly chart. Price movement has moved below the 2-day, still above the weekly. We go to the 2-day. What do we see? We can see where that movement below is happening, shooting through after 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, which equals 12 days of up movement. Nice, beautiful up movement, pairing off now. Now again, doesn't mean this is over. Doesn't mean that in the least. It just means there's a pullback underway. We'll see how long that pullback goes. Let's take a look at the 4-hour chart. Now, of course, we can see where the pullback started. Things peaked out in the afternoon on the 24th, Friday the 24th, down Monday and Tuesday. Is it bottoming out now? Well, if it bottoms out before the 2-day crosses over going down and starts heading back up on the 4-hour chart, this could be your pullback for a jump-in move going up on TLT. So we'll continue to watch and let you know what we see. That's what we do here. We want you to practice trade. Remember, not a stock calling service. We're an education firm. What's going on with gold? Gold down for the day nicely, 0.78%. Now, gold had been heading down beautifully for many, many weeks with only really 3 pop-ups all the way since it started going down hard back on the 27th, the week ending the 27th of April. Well, these last 2 weeks, gold may be bottoming out. Derivative oscillator losing downward momentum for the first time in all that time. Price percent oscillator also going flat. We had a green up candle last week, and we have a green open box candle happening for this week so far. Let's go from the weekly to the 2-day. What do we see? The 2-day has crossed over. Did that on the last candle ending Friday the 24th. This latest candle also is an even bigger green open box candle pushing through the weekly trend line. What do we see on the 4-hour? Of course, it's going up quite nicely. Remember when our 4-hour chart was something that we could actually just trade the chart? Well, maybe it's working again. We used to use it as a total trading chart. It worked beautifully for about 2 years, and hopefully it'll start working again. But again, maybe the last 3 changeovers, the last 3 crossovers, it's worked. We're not trusting it yet. So we'll continue to watch and wait and see what we see. Don't have a trade in gold right now because 2 days up, weekly's down. We'll continue to watch and see what we see. That's where we are, folks, as we end the day on Tuesday, go into Wednesday the 29th. Love to hear from you. Feel free to write us anytime. chartingwealth1@gmail.com. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team here at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.